Oculus, begin transmission.
Transmission commencing.
People of note.
I think she wants to do an interview.
Are you an Emilie fan?
No.
No? Okay.
Nope. Oh my goodness.
Ouch!
So you guys like Emilie Autumn, right?
Oh my gosh.
Entirely too much. Yes.
Yeah.
What does her music mean to you?
Pretty much everything. I mean,
Yeah.
she helped me through the most difficult time of my life, and I can't thank her enough. And it means everything to me. I'm not talented enough like her to be able to do what she does, and thank God that she does, because she is my voice. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in the crowd who could say the same.
Probably. I love, I'm a performer myself, and I love the theatricality of her music, the costumes, the crazy things that she does. I just think she's, musically and lyrically just brilliant and so evocative, and I'm just in love with her. And I'm in love with her as a person. She's just the sweetest person, having gotten to meet her again today. She just, you listening to her music, you might expect somebody who is angry or stuff, because that's the sort of thing that she expresses a lot, but she is the sweetest person.
Tell me, I know this latest project you have is it's pretty much taken from your book.
Yes.
The Tea Party Massacre, is that correct?
That is one of the scenes.
One of the scenes?
That the whole album and the show is leading up to, is the scene, the chapter, the Tea Party Massacre.
So, are you deriving more and more? I mean, are you looking for the next project? Are you going to pull more from the book?
This is all, for a while now, I've known this is all going towards the full-blown, Broadway theatrical musical version of the entire book. So what we're doing now is, what the Flag album is, it's literally about 1/3 of the soundtrack of the musical. So that's what we're performing on stage, is about 1/3 of the musical in this very small scale with 3 girls. We play about 4 characters each, and we got different voices and everything. It's crazy. So, yeah.
I'm wondering, how well is the book done? And I know it's an audiobook also, is that right?
No, it only isn't yet, because 2 reasons. One, it's a massive book, so I haven't quite had the time, because there's a lot going on right now. My brain is just very diseased. But also because I have to and want to play all of the characters in the audiobook, and there are a lot of different accents. So I'm practicing one, and I will not demonstrate it now. I'm sorry, that's just simply not happening. I just want to prevent you from even asking, which is combination of German, British. So for the girl that grows up, is born in Germany and grows up in England. So I have a lot to master, to not just be completely laughed out of the steampunk kingdom, because your standards are very high, and I appreciate that. And also I have to do all the voices for the rats and the leeches and things, and one is Cockney. I don't want to get that wrong. So that I'm a lot better at than the German English. But yeah, so I've got a ways to go on practicing. I am practicing with acting audio tapes for German and French and all of these things. So
Wow.
Taking this very seriously. Hopefully in a couple of months I'll be ready for that, and then we'll do the full-on audiobook as soon as this tour, and then a movie or 2 after this is over. There's a lot happening. So I guess those are the primary kind of embarrassing reasons why there's been no audiobook. But the book itself has done very, very well in my version of what well is for a book. So it's
how it's defined for you, anyway.
For me, for an independent author that's put out this book with no massive publicity campaign, that is only available on her website, that is $65 because it's massive and it's this big art book, to have sold 25,000 copies of this is, for me, a pretty significant thing that just says, even for that price, for this massive thing, that people actually want to read, and that they want to read this story. And this is, that's more than just Plague Rats are fans of Emilie Autumn or this world. Like, clearly there is word of mouth. They are recommending it too. And I get letters now from people that work in psychiatric wards and things saying that, and this is not meant to sound arrogant in any way, this is just a fact, that they're saying this is sort of allowed me to alert other people to treat the people in this place like actual individual human beings and not just over-medicate everybody on the same thing, blah-de-blah. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with it. And what the audiobook will, of course, help, but I think we're working on the electronic version of it now, which has been long in the works because it's like, how do you put this whole art book into like Kindle format? But I'm working on it in all my spare time.
I'm sure that's going to come together just fine. These days, these digital books, mixing your artwork has never been easier, and I think I can't wait to see that.
Thank you.
Really
I will say it does look great with the backlit screen. It's very, very vivid. So those are the beauties of digital. I didn't want to put it in that format for a long time because part of the experience for me with books in general, but especially this one, is like, this is this 5-pound thing. You must hold it. You must write in it.
It's not very punk rock, is it?
Not so much, but then again, if you sort of like spray paint the outside of your iPad cover and like spike it and stuff, like fuck, there are ways to kind of
Make it work.
Make this cool. Yeah.
Tell me, was it difficult being so honest with a book like this? I know a lot of it's pulled from personal experience.
Sure. No, actually, I think it was more difficult not. So it's kind of like, I'm thinking probably all of us at some point or other get to a point in our lives where it's more difficult to keep all of these things in, especially when there are things that people can kind of tell, or like you can tell when somebody's when their sort of cosmic eggshell is cracked. You can tell when somebody needs some help, and I think rather than there was a greater fear of being misunderstood than being judged for the things that had actually happened. And then there was the thought of, all right, if this could be, I thought it was necessary to put out a book that I felt was a lot more of a complete depiction of, just for one thing, I mean, the book is about a lot more than me being bipolar, but that is one aspect of it. And I thought in my own readings of things when I was figuring out my own situation, I had not read any books that were written by somebody that was bipolar, with somebody in that moment saying, this is what I'm going through right now, because I was writing everything down as I'm doing it, down to graphic details of things. But that was done and allowed out there purposely because had I had something growing up, or even like at this age, to read that was saying, this is what's happening, not somebody saying, this is what happens to bipolar people, or I am bipolar, this is what happened, because history changes every time you retell it. So I thought, that's not going to be completely honest. I would want to know right in that moment when somebody's about to cut themselves, when somebody's about to do something very unpleasant, or just the way somebody's thinking, like the way their brain works. I would have liked to know that, like, just because you're bipolar does not mean you're crazy. But my whole life I've thought that I was. In reality, I'm stark raving fucking sane. But that's the joy of it, is like, this isn't crazy. This is absolute truth and honesty, and finding some happiness in all of this by being honest and learning the sort of hidden benefits of this as well, which have to do with helping other people, and also because you do get a sort of a portal into another world, and I've been able to channel that. And I also want to help people do that. It's like a small version of autism.
That's got to be the greatest benefit, is that it does help other people. And I have just one final question.
That's it? That's all we get?
Well, Ashley will probably ask you a few questions of her own,
Good.
so
Okay.
I don't want to
Keep
hog.
talking to me. You're charming. Let's talk.
One last thing. How much of your music comes from a place of pain versus a place of joy?
That's wonderful. To this point, to really before the Flag album, it's been mostly a place of suffering, but so is most art. I mean, I would feel at first like how depressing that is, but so are most paintings, so is everything, because it isn't about like, oh, woe is me situation. It's just about, you create because you need to. If you're running around like in a field of daisies, you probably are just going to enjoy that moment. You're not going to be like, I need to paint a picture right now. So I feel like it's about a struggle that makes you create in that way. So that's why I do think that it's kind of fortunately or unfortunately true, the whole like you need to be in some sort of pain to write or create or whatever. It sounds horrible. I kind of don't want it to be that way, but I do think it is about like you have a barrier, you write because that's a way to break the barrier or paint or something. However, with the Flag albums, such as when we get to the end and you get the ultimate victory, which is the one foot in front of the other song. Although one foot in the other is pretty awesome as well. God, if I fuck up, I'm just going to say, like, it's so much better than, like, she thinks she's so cool. So, yeah, for the 1 foot song, that is absolute joy, because that's what everything that I've lived to this point in my own life from the very beginning is finding the answer to that question of how, because we all have it, it's not just me, it's whatever all of us go through. In the end of all of it, we're all looking for like that one thing that's like that magic button that you push that's going to make everything okay. Or even just, it's not even that would be easy. We're not looking for a shortcut, but it's like you just want, what is the answer? Like, there's got to be an answer. How do I go on? I'll put in the work, but how do I even do it? And how do I not just like curl up and die from everything? And we all have that day that's bad enough that we're like, how do I not curl up? And that song is pure joy because it was about finally finding the ultimate, and I think the end answer to that, which is how do you go on? Just put 1 foot in front of the other. That's it. In front of the other foot, in front of the 1 foot, in front of the other foot. That just doesn't end. So Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Props, Nike. Steampunk. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Absolute pleasure. I feel like I want to hold this.
Yeah, let's hold it together.
I love Emilie. She just brings everything out in music and everything that everybody could ever want. She's an amazing artist, she's an amazing person, and it's incredible that she shares her gift with everyone. It's such a miracle for her to be able to come out here and see everyone, every show she has. We're so happy to see her here in Atlanta, and I can't thank her enough.
Leg ride. Raise your paws. Raise your paws. Had a little girl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was on this side of a racket. Shack, scalpel, shack. Rusty Steel's hooray! Shack! It's time for war, it's time for blood, it's time for they find a filthy little slut right in the middle of your forehead. Well, she and her friends, this is very, very good. But for you, the game is over. This is revolution. Hatchet, shack, scalpel, shack. Earth mutation soul, shack. It's time for war. It's time for blood. It's time for the most worthy crime against humanity. The world's always something to drink on America. We think this is like eradicate the enemy. Somewhere it's always time for revenge. Is a dish that is best served now. I have that little girl. I had that little girl right in the middle of my forehead. And when I am good, I am very, very good. But when I am bad, I am fucking gorgeous. Hatchet, shack, scalpel, shack, electroscope, shack. It's time for war, it's time for blood, it's time for death. eradicate the enemy, eradicate, 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 eradicate. Revenge is a dish that is best served now.
What will I forget when this life is ending and gone? What will I regret if tomorrow I don't wake up? What happens in my sunrise or sunset? If I never were born, if I never die, or even matter at all, what should I decide? I always imagine I'd be something, someone, if I won't, I try. When my body suffers, when to breathe is pain, is it really madness to think of breaking this chain? Is the future mine? God knows I have a past. Where's my second chapter? Oh, will the first also be my last? Is my story over if I fall asleep? Will let anybody find me? Anybody? I can't even pretend I care. the lights will memory. Take the pill that's fucking with your mind. That's all you have to lose. Ha! Best that you're not procreating. Best that you don't know this life. That I still less sterilize you. Take the pill, the doctor sacrifice. Love yourself. And yes, it's going to hurt. Get back in line. 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 You'll be just fine. Don't you wanna be sedated? Don't you wanna ease this pain? If these pills are not effective, then you'll electroshock your brain. You're not happy with your heart. You'll not get considered sane. If these pills are not effective, you'll electroshock your brain. Don't even think of spitting out. We know your tricks. What am I to you? We know that by the need you'll done. We know exactly what you'll do. Your mistakes are a joke. Your credibility is shot. Keep your eyes down and mouth shut. That's the only thing you got. You're a doctor, and I am just a crazy little girl. He's a doctor and you are just a crazy fucking bitch! We filled your prescription, you'll never run out again. We filled your prescription, the drugs are your only friend. We filled your prescription, you'll never run out again. We filled your prescription, the drugs are your only friend. Now take the pill, 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 take it, 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 swallow, 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 swallow.
End transmission.
Transmission complete.